Great graphic design starts with typography. While Kittl is known today as a design tool, the tedious and intricate design of fonts is how we first started out, with our founder Tobias Saul leading the charge as master letterer at Heritage Type Co. We're proud of the fonts that we've created for our users, but we've always felt like it was important for designers of all stages and skills to be able to use any typeface, which is exactly why we've partnered with Monotype to bring you over 130 of the most professional fonts in the industry. And this is on top of the thousands of fonts already available in Kittl. I'm talking about Helvetica, Times New Roman, Futura, Bodoni, Gotham, Rockwell, Avant-Garde, and many more. These are the professional fonts that designers and brands use every day. When you think of Times New Roman, you think of one of the most popular typefaces of all time, installed on every single computer today. And it started because a British newspaper wanted to print in a type that was easier to read, but wanted to retain that historical vintage aesthetic. If you've ever written a school paper, you most likely used Times New Roman, or you got points taken off because you didn't. When you see Helvetica, you're seeing perhaps the most iconic sans serif type ever created, superseding its similar predecessors. Helvetica is the perfect combination of elegance and bold minimalism, loved by the entire design community. And if you want to go super deep on the evolution of typography, we have a video right here that you can check out. And we can't wait to see what our users are going to create with all of these professional fonts. Oh, and yeah, these new fonts are free to use, by the way, which is insane. I'm not kidding. Go sign up for Kittl if you haven't already and use them right now. The link is right there at the top of the description. Now, this isn't some basic partnership. Typography is in Kittl's DNA from our early days as a font foundry, like I mentioned, that many of you probably know as Heritage Type Co. It all started with our founder, Tobias Saul, who made a name for himself as a master letterer, calligrapher, designer, artist, working with some of the big industry names and getting featured on Behance all of the time. I mean, way before I worked at Heritage Type, I had been following Tobias's work and just dreaming of being able to make designs like his. I'm sure you've come across his designs or fonts because they are everywhere. Now, in the early days, Tobias was working as an independent lettering artist for companies with his signature style, mainly influenced by graphic design and lettering from the early 20th century. But in the midst of all of this client work, he noticed that authentic vintage-looking typefaces on the market were extremely hard to find. It was rare to find that vintage-style font that had actually been properly created, with the care and intricate development of ligatures and glyphs that gave these letters so much character. So, he decided to create the first typeface himself, which received a ton of great feedback from colleagues and clients. Well, then he started selling them on platforms like Creative Market. But there was a much bigger idea that was born from this first font, and together with his good friend Nicholas, Heritage Type Co. was born with the mission to create extraordinary vintage design sets that would help any designer to achieve incredible results in every project. Heritage Type Co. still exists, by the way. Like, you can still go and buy fonts to use them in any program that you want, but all of them are already in Kittl ready for you to use, so that's probably a lot easier. But Heritage Type solved one problem and then revealed another. It became clear that many of our customers were unfamiliar with advanced design tools like Illustrator or Photoshop and Affinity. While we were packaging up the fonts, templates, elements as best as we could for a seamless download and upload experience, we found many customers not able to utilize the fonts to the fullest simply because they didn't really have time to learn a brand new software. And this really started to bother us because while the professional designer or the professional agency could come and immediately understand how to download, upload, and utilize our fonts, the beginner or the learning designer was feeling a bit helpless. It's kind of like giving a 3-year-old a Lamborghini, but they don't know how to drive it. So with that in mind, Tobias and Nico started developing our own functioning design tool that would have all of our heritage type fonts, all of our illustrations, all of our effects in one design tool that could instantly be used on the internet without needing to download or do any extra learning. And so Heritage Designer was released in 2021. In fact, our earliest videos on the YouTube channel here are still the Heritage Designer tutorials, and I haven't taken them down because it's a part of our story and it's important to see how a tool morphs and changes. Well, Heritage Designer was a massive success, but amongst all of the amazing designs being created, we noticed something that seems really obvious now, and that's that people were creating designs that weren't really vintage. They were using Heritage Designer to create modern-looking work, like flyers, logos, labels, really anything. And so we thought about staying in our vintage bubble because obviously we know that very well, but it made more sense not to limit or gatekeep everyone's creative ability to one set or design style. So Heritage Designer was rebranded to Kittl, a design tool made by designers for designers. And for the last 2 years, we've been adding even more features to make the design process faster, from AI art generation tools, vectorizing features, background removal features, text transformations, an endless catalog of assets, a growing template library, and of course, the most professional looking fonts known today. At the time of this video, we have over 6 million users and growing. And with the addition of these advanced features I just mentioned, it makes sense we would partner with a powerful foundry like Monotype that has been around for over 100 years. This is a foundry responsible for the licensing of those most iconic fonts that you're gonna get, like Gotham, Cooper, Dido, Universe, Times New Roman, Garamond, Avenir, Courier, Impact, and so many more that are all ready for you in Kittl. You cannot be a professional design tool without these key fonts, and that's why Monotype is creating a common core set of type that is a part of every professional tool's repertoire. And this is what's so exciting for us, because that means Kittl is becoming a fully realized professional design tool. And now even more people can participate in the creative economy because of tools like Kittl and partnerships with foundries like Monotype, making these fonts available to everybody without spending thousands of dollars. And this is the same reason our CEO Nicholas recently shared the stage with Monotype's CEO Ninan at the Web Summit in Lisbon, where he stated, "Our collaboration with Kittl underscores the transformative power of typography in design. By integrating our high-quality fonts with Kittl's innovative platform, we are empowering designers to push the boundaries of creativity and elevate their work to new heights. This partnership is not just about accessibility, it's about revolutionizing the way designers interact with type to create impactful, authentic brand experiences." And together, we're keeping up on the development of type today and into the future, with one area being variable fonts, and they are going to be playing a major role in the future of design. These variable fonts allow you more time to design and less time trying to scroll through and pick the right weight. We actually have a lot of variable fonts in Kittl, but we also have the variable versions of Helvetica, Futura, Avenir, Universe, and Frutiger, which you can go and play around easily right now. We're thankful to Monotype for their passionate commitment to the world of typography, as well as this exciting partnership. So I hope you enjoyed this little history lesson, and I hope you go and give Kittl a try, if not just for the fonts I mentioned in this video. I could have done a video saying, hey, we partnered with Monotype, but that's not really fun, and this was much more important to us than a simple, quick update. So I wanted you to have some backstory on how we got here today. Like I said, the fonts are ready for you to use for free with the free subscription, and obviously in our paid plans as well, when you go and click that link down in the description. And you're gonna see a ton of amazing design templates, brand boards, and more coming out with these influential fonts already embedded and ready to go. So you definitely wanna stay up to date by subscribing to the YouTube channel here on Kittl. And let me know in the comments which of the Monotype fonts is your absolute favorite. Which font are you most excited to use in your projects? I would love to know that and pass that along to the team as well. So subscribe, comment, go use the new fonts, and we will see you in the next video.